Roll out!
Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Perfect Effect PE-DX10G GODFORCE Warrior, and I love this toy. And this is one of the figures that I picked up recently at TFCon in Baltimore. I got it from the table at Chosen Prime, and I paid approximately $150 for this figure. And what this is Perfect Effects. It's a heavy retool of their PE-16 Ginrai figure, but this one's been done to be more of a G1 cartoon slash Power Master Optimus Prime slash God Ginrai, and you'll see all of that here in just a moment. There's a lot to cover with this figure. So here we have GODFORCE Warrior. And of course, I'm probably going to slip up, during the review and start calling him Prime, just so you guys know. But here's GODFORCE Warrior in his vehicle mode. Here in truck mode, the truck itself is approximately 5.5 inches long, about maybe 2.25, 2.5 inches tall here at the top of the cab. 3 if you want to go to the top of the smokestacks right there. The trailer itself is approximately 4 inches tall, and we've got a combined length of about 12 inches long. Now, taking a look at the truck itself, you can see it's very G1 looking. He rolls really, really nicely. I absolutely love the scale and size on this guy right here. Just kind of going all the way around. You can see we got a very more G1ified, if that's a thing, version of the front of the cab. I don't have the PE-16 to compare it to. God, I really want that figure, but he's very difficult to find. Hopefully someday I'll get it. I can compare it to this one here. But absolutely love the details on the front of the cab. Nice reds, the white on the stripes right there, silver grille, bumper, and lights right there. Going into silver for the smokestacks and the tanks, and then going into that blue. Got nice silver painted wheels right there. And then, of course, the trailer done in silver with that blue and white striping. I've already added my own Toy Hacks Autobot logos to this figure right here. You can see kind of this trailer doesn't open up into a base. It does something completely different, but I absolutely still love the details. You got all the riveting, the panel lining, everything is there. You got the back of the doors right there, and you cannot open these and put anything inside. We'll go ahead and open these real quick. This is actually just part of the armor. This trailer is completely full of stuff in there, so you're not storing anything in there that didn't already come with this figure. But there you go. Now, he does come with all of these weapons. You can remove these if you'd like. If you want to just take these off, you can. If you wanted to have more of a, let's just go ahead and take them all out. If you wanted to have more of a G1 Prime look, there you go. You can do that as well. But of course, once again, this is kind of meant to be Power Master Prime. So you can put these up here. You can put them up here if you want. There's a couple of ports all along the trailer here. You got the ports on the side there as well. You can put these up here if you want to. So you've got options. But again, we're going for that Ginrai, that Super Ginrai, Super God Ginrai, Power Master Optimus Prime look. So we are going to go ahead and, at least for the purposes of this review, I am going to go ahead and put these weapons on there. So there you go. That's pretty much it for the truck itself. For comparison, let me see if I can fit these guys in. Here is the Perfect Effect PE-DX10 Jet Power Revive. So I want to give a huge shout out to fellow TF Conbro Engineer Hoist, a fellow YouTuber and Conbro. Engineer Hoist, I'm going to put a link to his channel right here, right now. Go check him out. He was with, obviously, I'm calling him a Conbro, so we were at TFCon together. He saw me purchase this figure. He said, hey, I've got the Jet Force Revive version. Let me send that to you so you can compare them together. When you do your review, you can do a review of this one too, all that good stuff. So he was kind enough to let me borrow his figure for the purposes of this review and the next review that I'm going to be doing. So Engineer Hoist, again, thank you so much, and everybody go check him out at his channel. So yeah, Jet Force Revive and the GODFORCE Warrior, these are retools of each other. The trailer or the trucks themselves are very similar. The heads are different, and some of the detailing on the robot modes is different. And then, of course, the way that the trailer transforms and turn into the armor for each, where this is going to be more G1 Master Force inspired, and this one's going to be more Bay live action movie inspired. But there you go, so you can see what these guys look like together. Getting into transformation quickly because we've got a lot to cover. We're going to go ahead and just remove the trailer, and I'm just going to show you the bottom of it real quick so that you can see we do have some weapon storage down here. We got a little missile head right there, and we've also got a handgun. The handgun is pegged to the side rail right there. We're going to go ahead and just pop that off. I said pop off. Come on. It doesn't want to play. There we go. And that was just pegged in right there. So we'll go ahead and set the trailer and the weapon off to the side for the time being. And we'll go ahead and concentrate on the Prime himself. We'll move this down just a bit. Absolutely love the transformation on this guy. So we are going to start right here on the side with the tanks. The tanks are clipped in right there to that hinge. So just kind of pull up on them and they'll just kind of pop off right away. There's some tabs. There's a lot of tabs with this figure, with the figure and with the trailer themselves, and they're tight. I'm going to tell you that right now. So you might see me struggle with some of these because these tabs are tight. These bottom panels right here are tabbed in right there. We're going to just reach right there, and already they don't want to play with me. It's got to get these untabbed. Man, those are tight. That tab is in that slot right there. So we're going to do that on both sides right there. Expose all of that. We can separate the legs. And now what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the whole blue part away from the thigh right here. So just go ahead and rotate that on that hinge right there. While we're here, take your tank piece. We're going to rotate that and tuck it away right inside of the leg. And then we're going to now pull on this hinge right in there. So this whole thing comes out. And we're going to rotate this in a way where we're going to take this piece right here. We want the knee joint part facing up, and this part right here where these two slots are facing forward. So we're going to go ahead and turn this way so that that's facing forward. And then this entire thing is going to collapse on that double hinge and clip or peg into itself right there, just like that. This was still open, so you can go ahead and bring this down. That tabs into place. Got a little panel right here with a hinge. You can open and close this to whatever your preference is. Take the foot and bring it up. So one more time, we're going to go ahead and rotate this all the way out. Put the tank away. Bring this guy up. We're going to clip that in place right there. Rotate the knee up. Close that panel. Open or close this to your desire. Bring this up. And there's our legs. All done. Now, we are going to go to... Let's see, go ahead and unclip. So the whole bottom part of the body is tabbed into the front of the cab there and there. So just pull up on this, and that's going to give you enough clearance to take your smokestacks right here. We're going to untab these, and then we're going to rotate them on this hinge outwards, just like so. We're going to do that on both sides. Rotate them outwards, and then just kind of bend them in so that the smokestacks are pointing forward, just like that. That is now going to allow you enough room to take this entire piece. You can see that the chest right back here. We're going to take the chest and the legs and rotate these all the way around, just like that. Now these are going to come down, and these two tabs are now going to tab into these two slots on the top of the cab, just like that. And we're almost done. Let's move this camera up a bit. Okay, so now we're going to take the whole front of that. Go ahead and take these and just kind of point them forward like that. The whole front of the cab right here, these are tabbed in right behind the headlights there and there. So go ahead and pull the entire, whoops, let me try that again. I'm leaving that in, that's a blooper. All right, take the whole front of the cab. That has never happened before. Of course, it happens when I'm on camera. All right, take the whole front of the cab and just kind of untab it just like that, okay? These two tabs, we're going into these two slots right there and right there. Now, these thirds, the outer thirds of the front of the cab right here, these are on double hinges there and there. So just untab these and just kind of butterfly them out like so. There and there on that outer hinge, and then we use the inner hinge to bring them in together. And they are going to tab in together just like that. There's a tab here that's going to tab into the back of the waist. And there's a tab here that's going to tab into the slot right behind the grill. And that's going to secure the body in place there and there. Take the bumpers, the bumper halves, I guess, and pull these out, straighten out the arm, pull that out, straighten out the arm, rotate them so that the bumpers are facing straight up like that. And then we're going to take The arms right here, I like to kind of rotate them out just a little bit. And these hinges are super tight right here. We're just going to bring this down on that ratchet. And while we're bringing down, we're also rotating until we get it all the way down like that. Bring the arm forward, and then this little panel is going to come up to cover that gap right there. So once again, bring this down. At the same time, we are rotating. Bring the arm down. Not that far down. Bring this little panel up. And there is Optimus Prime in robot mode. Absolutely love this guy. Let me get this camera adjusted for you just a bit. So here's Prime out in robot mode, and he stands approximately 7 inches tall, and I absolutely love the way that this guy looks. Coming in close to take a look at the head, check out the head sculpt. Again, this is very G1 inspired. He's kind of like a, it's kind of hard to describe. It's kind of like an almost movie-ish style of mold, but because of the head sculpt and the paint job done on him, he's very G1-ish. It's a very beautiful blend of G1 and movie, I think. It's absolutely awesome. And just checking out all the details on him, you got the blue windows, the white stripes right there on the chest, silver grill, white the white waist piece, the silver legs, blue legs with the silver details right there. I love the blue forearms, just like the Ginrai did in Master Force. The Power Master Prime did. Very, very cool. Going all the way around so you can see very clean robot. No hollow spots showing. Little bit of kibble right here on the back. This doesn't bother me at all. Yes, it's the front of a truck, but the way that these guys fold up and hide the grill does a really good job, in my opinion, of camouflaging the front of that truck. So it's not as obvious as you would think. It's not as obvious as it was on Ginrai, on Power Master Prime. So I really like that. And just kind of going all the way around. Yeah, very nice looking, very dynamic figure. You'll notice that he is kind of tipping back a little bit. Very easily. That's because he doesn't really have much in the ankles department, unfortunately. So he can be a little back heavy and tend to fall back. So you gotta kind of want to lean him forward like I've got him here, or maybe play with a weapon so that, that helps to kind of hold him forward. Before we go on into articulation, real quick for comparison, here he is with Jet Force Revive Commander. So you can see what these guys look like together, side by side. Again, I think these guys do such an amazing job of being the same mold and yet looking so different from each other, especially when we get into the combined mode. The combined modes look like two completely different figures, which is why I'm so inclined on getting my own version of this guy now. But there you go. So you can see what these guys look like together. And then for a more up-to-date, I guess, comparison, here he is with Kingdom Prime. And he's just a little shorter than a Voyager size would be, so you can see what these guys look like together. All right, getting into articulation, the head is on a ball joint, can move all the way back. We're gonna and pop it off if you're me, because these are the things that I do when I'm on camera. Anyway, he can lean back that far, which we're going to use later for our flight poses if you want. You've got inquisitive tilting inside to side. The arms can go forward and backwards all the way around. They can go in and out on that super tight hinge. The elbows can rotate or bend that far, and they can also rotate. The fists can rotate on this transformation hinge. And then, of course, they can also rotate side to side. And the fingers can open, although they are super tight. You see, to show that it can. There you go. So there you go. Yeah, you can open the fist, both of them, but they are super, super tight. So let's just close those right back up again. We do have an ab crunch. And if you want to use it, you can also kind of bend backwards that way, kind of like a limbo bend, which is going to be the ab crunch for super mode. But again, you can use it, in this mode if you need to do it for posing and photography and that kind of stuff. So it's cool that it's there. Legs can go forward that far, back that far, in and out, rotate at the thigh, double hinge at the knee. The feet can move up and down, and they can also tilt. You got that ankle tilt for those wide stances. All right, we had that weapon right under the trailer. We're going to go ahead and give him that now. We'll take a look at that real quick so you can see what that looks like. And it's just a very G1 inspired rifle right there. His ion blaster. And you can just give him that. And there you go. Prime is all ready for battle. Transforming the trailer for GODFORCE Warrior is absolutely nuts. So we're just going to take our Prime, set him off to the side. We're going to take the trailer here and remove the weapons. And it is of note that the trailer does not have any kind of an outrigger or any kind of a standing leg or anything like that. When it's you got the robot separated from the trailer, he's gonna not be straight. There's no legs or anything like down here that you can make him stand straight like that, which is unfortunate. But anyway, all right, lots of panels, lots of tabs. We're gonna start right here in the front and just start untabbing these panels here. And again, like I said, these are going to be super, super tight. So we're just going to start pulling panels there. There's a tab right there that's decided it wants to give me a hard time. There it goes. 2 tabs right here. Pull these out like so. And we're going to take the side pieces right here. These are tabbed on the bottom right there. So pull those out. And that should pull out this entire thing right here. Set this off to the back right now. This piece right here, we're going to go ahead and remove this. This is tabbed into that other slot right there. In fact, bringing in Prime real quick. We need this weapon. This is going to actually peg into the weapon just like that. In fact, let's just remove his gun for now. And this will eventually become his shoulder cannon for the super mode. So we can go ahead and take Prime and the weapon, set that aside again. These panels are tabbed into these sides right here. So go ahead and untab those. Move these up and out of the way. Now, these guys have 2 hinges here. So we're going to fold these pieces in, the blue pieces up over the silver pieces. Get these out of the way. And then fold or rotate these blue pieces together and snap them together. Now we're going to take, we're going to take the outside part of the trailer panel. That tab is going to go into that slot right there. So tab that. And tab that using these double hinges back here. And then these panels are going to come up. That little tab or peg is going to go into that port right there. And right there. And we can go ahead and take, you're going to need a tool for this. There's another hand. Well, let's see if there's another handle right there. You need to reach in there and pull it out. I'm not even going to try that. So I'm just going to push it through with something else. We want this long handle out, and then we can take the little handle and push it in. And this is going to be his super gun for the super mode. And then also we're going to do something else with it. So we're just going to take this and set it aside for now. Let's take the trailer. We're going to continue untabbing tabs and slots and stuff like that. So we got these 3 tabs here, 3 tabs here. Go ahead and undo all of those. It's super tight, which is kind of a pain for the purposes of what I'm trying to do, which is to show it on video. It is kind of a pain, but it's actually nice that they're so tight and secure because it holds. When you get everything put together in vehicle mode, everything just holds in really, really nicely. All right, so that's going to separate these 2 pieces here, and this whole back part of the truck just kind of fell together. So there's a couple of hinges on these vehicles that are just kind of these soft hinges like that. So, you know, a little bit of extra pressure may pop them off. It's no big deal. They can pop right back in. These pieces were here and here in the trailer mode. So we're going to put those right back there. And this whole rear part of the trailer, we're not going to do anything with this right now. So we're going to go ahead and take this rear piece here. We're going to set this off to the side. We're going to work on this top / front and middle part of the trailer right here. So flip this up, remove this black piece here. This is going to be the waist piece for the super robot mode, so we can set that off to the side. And then take, all right, these panels, this is going to fold over. And then this is going to fold up and over again. Like that. And actually, before you do that, we're going to take this small panel, bring this down. And it kind of soft locks. There's these 2 little bitty tabs right there that just barely peek through those 2 little holes. So that soft tab's there, and then these 2 tabs are going to tab in up here, and that's all going to secure in place right there. And then we can take this chest piece right here. This is another one of those soft clip joints right there, so we can just fold that down, fold that in there, and just kind of leave it tucked away for now. These pieces here are going to rotate like so. We're going to come up here. These two engine pieces are actually tabbed in quite securely to the top of this part. And then the sword is tabbed in on each side to these engine pieces. And this whole thing is super, super tight and secure. So this is one part where I try to be extra careful because this sword actually tabs in super hard. And the more I've done it, it's gotten looser over time. But in the beginning, it would get so tight, I would be scared to break it. As you can see, that wasn't so bad getting it out just now. There's a super sword right there. We'll set that guy off to the side. All right, so these engine pieces, these are going to come down. And then this whole engine piece is going to rotate, and you can continue bringing these down. And you can angle these whichever way you like. You can see the tabs right there and the slots where they were at. So you just kind of rotate those there. We can bring the wing pieces out. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put together his sled of sorts. So we're going to bring in this gun piece again. In fact, you know what? You could use either one of the pegs. It doesn't matter. But you can see these two little clips right here. And these are going to go into these slots right here. So just tab these in there. There and there. And we're going to bring in all of those guns that were removed from the trailer. So bring in these long guns. We're going to bring in these double cannons right here. So the long guns we can tab, or peg rather, on the sides right here. We'll put that one there. This one here. And while we're down here, we can take these, and these will actually angle inwards if you'd like. You can do that. I mean, you can put them any way you'd like, right? And then we're going to come right up here to the top, and we're going to take these double cannons, and we're going to put them into these ports up here. There and there. And this is really cool because what we've got here is, well, this can be anything you want it to be. This can be a jet sled, or it can be a drone, like an aerial drone that just comes in to help Prime whenever he needs it. Just another drone vehicle kind of a thing. So this can be whatever you want it to be, which is really cool. And again, you can take these engine pieces and you can rotate them. Let's say you want these wings to face up some, kind of like a Mazinga kind of a thing. You can do that if you'd like. You can bring them down as well. You know, kind of an X-wing kind of a thing. Tap that back in place. You can take these wings and you can, you know, bring them back if you'd like. Something like that. If you want to do that, you can. You know, you can point these any way you like. So yeah, again, you can do whatever you'd like with this. Whatever looks best to you. That's what you can do here, which is really, really cool. Now, you can also bring in Prime, and what you can do here is take this peg right here. Again, either peg will work. And you got the two ports on either leg. So we're just going to come up with a cool pose here for Prime. Kind of like a cool, almost surfing pose, if you will. Not slide his arm out. Again, this is on a soft ratchet right there. So you can just pop that right back in again. Of course, these things happen when I am on camera. Because why wouldn't they, right? And yeah, I just kind of want to get a cool pose for Prime. Something along the lines there. And then we can take that handle or that peg right there, put it right into the bottom of his foot. Boy, this is the worst review ever, isn't it? All right, let's try it this way. There we go. So you can peg his foot right in there. And I kind of want to give him a cool pose there. There you go. And now you can have Prime kind of riding that drone there. That looks, actually, let me back this up and move the camera up. This looks really, really cool. Check that out. That is just super cool. And again, if you'd like, you can give him a gun. Let's give him that one. And then on the other hand, we'll give him this super sword like that. And yeah, check that out. How cool is this? I mean, again, it's a lot of play features for this. Get me closer. I want to hit them with my sword. So it's just very, very cool. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take Prime off, and we're going to start. We're going to kind of reset, get these pieces off, get Prime off, get the pieces kind of reset back to trailer, not the trailer mode, but just to their separate configurations. And we're going to go ahead and get ready for the super mode. So we'll take the sword off. We'll take this off. Set these off to the side. All right, let's get Prime. First off, let's get Prime ready for combination mode. So to get Prime ready for combination, what we're going to do here is we're going to take the waist, turn it completely around, and then we're going to take the bottom part of the legs and turn these around. So now what we've done is we've taken the wheels and put them on the inside. And if you remember that waist piece that we got earlier, it's got three pegs right on the inside, and we got 3 ports showing here on his waist now. So we can go ahead and pop this right in there, and that'll pop in nice and securely. And Prime is pretty much all set for the time being. We can go ahead and set him off to the side one more time. We'll take the cannons, remove that, set that off to the side, set these off to the side, remove or separate the cannon. And again, this is pretty much going to stay as is, so we can set this guy off to the side. This piece is pretty much all done. This is going to stay just as is. The only difference here is going to be we're going to take this chest piece and bring it up and move that up. We're ready to combine that. So we can set this guy off to the side. And then we're going to get back to this. So this part right here, as you saw, these pieces kind of soft clip. You see the little tab right there, and these are meant to tab into these slots right here. And for whatever reason on this copy, they're not very tight. They're not very secure. You've seen them fall off a couple of times now. This piece, that's another soft joint right there, and that one's also come off. So let me just fix that one. So anyway, these are meant to just kind of peg in here for the truck mode. For whatever reason on this copy, they're not very tight. They tend to fall off very, very easily. Whereas on the Jet Force Revive Commander, they're very secure. So I may just take some clear nail polish and put that in here just to close. I don't want to do anything to these because these are actually going to tab into the shoulders of Prime. So I don't want to mess with these, but maybe I'm going to thicken these up here so that they hold a little better, because they do tend to fall off when I'm transforming them. So we want to take these shoulder pieces, rotate these like this, and then we can set these off to the side. And then we're going to reach in here. We're going to take these 2 halves and separate them. They're tabbed in right there. So we can go ahead and just separate that. Again, this is a soft hinge. It pops off. It's fine if it does. This arm piece was, I wanted to show this on camera. It was tabbed in right there. So we're just going to untab that. There's a tab inside the trailer. There's a slot right there. That's an arm piece. Set that off to the side. Take this piece right here. Take the wheels, flip them in. Open this door. Rotate it around. We're going to take these panels, bring this all the way out. Nope. Turn this one all the way in, and then turn this one all the way out. They should be, yep, there's a peg and a port right there. Tab that into place. Leave this open. There's one leg. Same thing over here. So we're going to take this piece, arm piece right here, just separate that. Take the door, open it, rotate that, and close it back up again. There is a tab right here, but I'm not going to use it just yet. Flip the wheels in, rotate this panel, tab it into place, and we're ready to start combining. Bring Prime back in here. Angle his toes or point his toes down just a little bit. You want to get this clip inside that little skirt right there, and you're going to see how this all kind of straightens or lines up together like that. You see that? So we're going to get all of that right in there, just like that. And then we're going to bring it down, and we're going to work that peg right there into that hole on his foot. Just like that, bring that all the way down, and now that we can confirm that everything is in there and it's tight. We can confirm that everything is in there and tight. Yep. Now we can go ahead and close this panel up and tab that in. So there's his leg, all done. We'll do the same thing over here. So we'll just take this shin panel right here and just peg it into the leg. Start bringing the foot down so we can line it up with that peg. Bring that all the way down and then close that up and tab that into place. And there's his bottom half, pretty much all done right there. It's getting huge. All right. Next, let's work on the shoulder pieces right here. So you want to take the tab that's on the shoulder piece. You need this facing back. What we're going to do is going to bring this, make sure that these smoke tacks are lined up. We're going to bring this down, and that tab's going to go into that slot right behind the smokestack right there. So bring that down. Yep. This way. Tab that in and close it. Same thing on this side. Bring this up and over. Tab that into the top of the shoulder and close it. The hands. I like the hands. This reminds me of Gundam right here. So we're going to take the fist and we're just going to pull these out. Just pull the fist out. This reminds me of Gundam stuff right here. Now we're going to take the arm pieces right here, and there's a peg inside of the arm piece. So you can take the fist and just pop that right into the outside of the arm piece, and then we're going to peg that right where the fist was at before. For me personally, it works better if I look at it from the back. So I'm just going to do that. I know it's not quite as dramatic, but there you go. So there's one. We'll do it again over here. So we'll take the arm piece, we'll take the fist, plug that in. And then we'll work this guy right into the hole where the fist was at previously. And push that all the way in. There you go. So there is that. Real quick, let's bring in these guys right here. Can peg into this. They can peg into either or, but going by G1 Master Force, I'm going to go with the lower one. So we're just going to put those there and there. Just like that. And let's see now. You can... Do we want to do this now or later? Yeah, we can go ahead and put this on now. All right. So let's see how we can show this off. So these clips here and here, we're going to clip these into what used to be the side view mirrors, there and there. So you just kind of need to look around and behind them, line those up. And just make sure that they're clipped on either side. You can notice, you can see here that it's not clipped on. So we want to back this one up just a little bit. There we go. Now they're both right over those side view mirrors right there. Come around to the front again. We're going to bring this down. And there are tabs right back here that are going to go into these slots right here on this chest. So bring this down and slot his chest in. Just like that. Just work on getting straightened out a little bit. And you can already see how awesome this guy is going to be looking here in just a moment. We can take his weapons, and I like to plug them into the back of the engines here. And of course, you can give these to him and, you know, have him hold them in his hand or whatever. Same rule applies for the engines back here. You can actually use this rotation piece, so you can rotate these in and out, or you can have the wing all the way up or bring it down, or, you know, whatever you want to do. Same rule applies here, right? All right, so there's that. And then finally, the last touch we're going to do here is we're going to bring in, if you remember, Prime's Ion Blaster right here with the little missile piece right here. And this can peg into either engine right here. We're going to peg it into the engine. Of course, I'm going to go with the right shoulder because Master Force. And there is our God Force Warrior in his combined super robot mode. And here is God Force Warrior, and yeah, he got pretty big. Here in Super Robot mode, he's approximately 8 inches tall at the top of the head, 9 if you want to go here to the top of the cannon. Impressive wingspan right at 9 inches, and he looks absolutely stunning. I love everything about the way this looks, going all the way around. So you can see it's God Force Ginrai. It's Super God Ginrai. It's what it is. It's you know, Power Master Optimus Prime with God Bomber armor on him, or Super God Ginrai, whatever you want to call him. That's what he is. He looks absolutely fantastic. Not a lot of kibble, no hollow spots, no cable really hanging out. Nothing really that shouldn't be there, right? You've got the wings, you got the jetpack, you got the cannons back there. And of course, you can take the cannons off. Let's do this because we haven't done it. And you can hold cannons in his hand. We'll take them both out. Of course, I get him in front of the camera and everything starts to go wrong with him. That's just the way these reviews go. For those of you guys that think that this is easy. There you go. So you can have him holding both of his weapons like that, which looks absolutely stunning. Or as you saw, you can put them on the back of his shoulders right there, or on the back of his jet engines right there. And of course, the jet engines can also angle if you want to have them back a bit, kind of like a Mazinga kind of thing, or bring them forward. You can bring these up or down. You can pose these any way you'd like. You can also, let me straighten that out. These little wing pieces right here, you can have them straight, you can have them angled. Again, whatever you'd like. He does retain all of his posability, for the most part, from the small robot mode. The head is the exact same, so you can still, move it all the way around. And you got, for those flying poses, you got that head that can look almost all the way up, which is really, really nice. The shoulders can still move forward and backwards. It's the same joint. You can move them back as far as the wing is going to let you. You can move them in and out, rotate at the elbow, bend at the elbow. The wrists can still rotate and they can open and close. They can't do that little curl thing anymore because that transformation joint's not there. You can still turn at the waist. You got the ab crunch going both ways. Legs can go forward that far, back that far, in and out. The hip skirts do move to accommodate, rotate at the thigh, bend at the knee. New ankles, but the ankles still move forward and backwards, and they can still tilt, so you can do those wide angle stances, which is really, really nice. So let's see, I want to show these now because this is not really the way I want to finish them off. So let's just bring in this. So here's the Super Cannon mode, which this is kind of a carryover from the Revive Commander, since he is a retool of the Revive Commander. This is kind of a carryover. It's cool. It's a cool inclusion. Not my preferred look for this, guys, because this is really more kind of a movie thing, in my opinion. But it does work. It works very well. And they did something here that I absolutely love. So we're going to use that handle for the underslung, but also you'll notice there's tabs on both sides of this gun right here. So you can do this on either arm. So the arm piece right there has got a slot. So when you tab in the gun, or rather slot it into his fist, you can also tab it in to that shoulder piece or that arm piece right there, right? So that way, even though the joints for the wrists, for the fingers, are super tight, you don't have to worry about them getting loose over time and him just dropping his weapon because it's tabbed into this forearm piece. So he can do that. He can hold it very, very securely. So that is a really, really nice touch. Didn't have to do it. There it is. They did it anyway. Very cool. And of course, he's got this super gigantic, almost ridiculous sword, which he can hold. And there you go. Check that out. That just looks like he's gonna cut somebody's face off. He's gonna do some damage. This is really, really cool. Absolutely love everything about this. The sword can store on his back. You got the two tabs on each side of the sword, so you can take the sword and tab it into either one of these slots back here on the back here. I wonder if can you go in the center? I guess you can go in the center too if you'd like. You can do that. Personally, I'd like it better. Well, I like it a little better down here. So there's that. And of course I popped this armor off, but there you go. You can put it right back there, and that works for me. And then let's go ahead and take this off. And I don't know that I've really played with options on storing this on his back. I don't know that you can really store this on his back, unless you want to make use of one of these, maybe. I don't know. I don't know that there really is much of a way to store this on his back, to be honest with you. I haven't really played with that option. I've usually just kind of had this off to the side, but and that's what we'll do now for now anyway. Because I want to, for the final shot, for comparisons and for final shots, I do want him holding both of his guns, because that's, to me anyway, and to my memory, that's kind of the way I remember Power Master Optimus Prime always having those twin guns. So that's kind of the way that I want to go out with him. So we'll give him that. We'll give him that. We'll get him in a nice, cool looking pose right there. And we'll do a couple of comparisons. So once again, we'll set him over here. Let's bring in one more time the Jet Force Revive Commander, his mold mate, his mold brother. So you can see how these guys look like together. And again, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, I absolutely love how these guys look besides the colors. In truck mode, these guys look nearly identical. Or they look identical. They are identical in truck mode, except for the colors. You get them to the small robot mode, you start to see some minor differences. And then you get them into these combined modes, and they're two completely different things, two completely different robots, in my opinion, right? They look completely different, very much Master Force versus very much movies. And I love them both. Absolutely love them both. And that's what convinced me. Once I got these and I had them side by side, just like you're seeing here, that's really what convinced me that, okay, I'm definitely going to get one of these now for myself, because you really are getting kind of two separate figures here, or two completely different figures. So yeah, that's kind of what sold me on it. So absolutely love how these guys look together. So there he is once again with the Jet Force Revive Commander. Here he is one more time with the Kingdom Optimus Prime, so you can see how much he's grown. If you remember, when he was in the small robot mode, he was just a tad shorter than this guy. Now he's almost he's almost doubled in size. I have the camera up and down, facing down, so the angles are kind of playing different, weird here, but you'll see why I have my camera set up as high as I do here in just a second. But there he is one more time next to Kingdom. And then finally, let's hope we can get this shot here. This is going to be a tough one. Here he is with LG Legends, LG 35 plus LG 42, Bomber, Ginrai and God Bomber. Basically the Legends Super Ginrai, or God Ginrai. The Legends God Ginrai right there. So yeah, they're not quite as this guy's absolutely massive. And gorgeous. This is another one that I got at TFCon, and it's one that I've been really kind of wanting to get for a very long time, and I finally got my hands on it. But you can see what these guys look like together. And again, yeah, very good job of doing the Master Force God Ginrai, which is absolutely, is it God Ginrai or Super God Ginrai? I always forget. But anyway, there he is. Stunning figure. So happy that I finally got this one. What an amazing figure to get. It's just, I love everything about this. I love the transformation. He's a little fiddly because he does have a couple of loose bits, getting him into the truck mode. But again, some of those tabs are super tight. As you saw, I had a little bit of difficulty getting them off. But that is really kind of only a pain when it comes to doing this, which is shooting it on camera, right? Once you're actually playing with them, the fact that those tabs are so tight actually makes for a very secure trailer mode. Once you get everything tabbed in, it's going to hold, which is a good thing, right? So absolutely love everything about this figure. And I think it is an excellent addition to any Optimus Prime shelf. And I think that about does it for the Perfect Effect PE-DX10G GODFORCE Warrior. That was a long video, I know. Lots to cover. What did you think of this figure? Let me know down in the comments. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when I upload a new video. I've got a donate button up there if you want to hit on that. I certainly would appreciate it. Please share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.